Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for February 17th, 2011 to order at 8:02. On roll call, Council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Councilman Conboy is absent due to illness. Cherwinski.
Here.
Work.
Here.
Monsino.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant them in a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Law of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of each meeting a statement by the presiding officer, now therefore be advised the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by publishing an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, this council meeting, as all others, is being taped for television, cable channel 77, and that will be on Tuesday, 12 noon, Thursday, 4 p.m., Friday, 11 a.m., or you can hit www.elmwoodparknj.us and get it on the internet. Go ahead.
Mayor, this evening...
That sounded rude. I don't mean go ahead.
Mayor, this evening we have the presentation of the annual report from the Police Department for 2010. So, Chief Ingrassalino, we'll turn it over to you.
I don't know what we're going to get with the video when it's dark.
Okay. As everybody knows, every year we give a brief presentation on the information that was passed on through the council from the police department on what occurred in the past year. So this is for our year 2010. And once again, it's our mission statement. Elmwood Park Police Department to provide a high level of public safety utilizing best protocols to ensure safety and welfare of the residents, on to creating cost efficiency. And we talk about proactive measures, which is our number one priority. And here you see since 2002 through 2010, and this is the statistics in each of the major categories. And if you look, most of them are pretty steady, but like if you look at the red, those are basically changes that stand out. And if you look at the robbery, which is one of the important areas, back in 2002, 2003, we were climbing, and we had been climbing over the years. 27 is a lot for a size town that we have. 27 this is robberies, guns, knives, that type of thing. And then we were down, and we continually. You can't go by one single year, but if you look, we've kept it at 8, 11, 12, 13, which is pretty good. Is half of where we were at 27. So it's a 50% decrease from 2003, and that's one of the areas, street crimes, that we've been trying to target. Burglaries, as you can see, we're up this year, but not significantly. That's another area that's a little tougher. And thefts, well, a lot of that's also because of the shopping centers we have, and that's. But you can see on the other side, auto theft, which is actually one of the categories that's probably most affected by visible police presence. You see, we're up at 81 over here. In 2002, we were pretty high, and we've been pretty much steadily down. 18, 2010. We actually got a call from the state police checking our figures because they thought maybe we made some mistakes. But there is no mistakes. That's actually where we're at, 18. So if you see from 81 to 18, significant decrease. Some of the other areas, motor vehicle stoppages, which I'll go over later, we've steadily increased. So we just broke under 20,000 this year, where we used to average a little over 6,000 year over year. And at one time we were at 3,000 or 4,000. So you can see a significant increase. And that is due to a lot of factors, DWI checkpoints. We're working with the DMV on Route 4 on a steady basis. Guys are doing different kind of patrols, seatbelts. Ambulance requests are a little higher. Necessarily doesn't mean anything, because if you look back, we've had 1,200 before, fluctuates every year, and we're back to 1,200, but I don't see that as any kind of significant change. DWIs, 235 this year, a record. I think for a department our size, this area here is probably the average. I talked to the state. I think everybody knows we have Officer Perlick here. He had 55 alone. Right now, it looks like he's I thought he was going to be number 1, but it looks like he's number 2 in the state of New Jersey out of all the police officers. And warrants are up also this year. Total calls, pretty stable. We're up a couple of years. We're back down to 38,000, which is probably our average. This is one of the areas that I'm most proud of. And as you know, I've come in here before and we talked about the violent crime rate, which I think is most important to people, when you talk about their safety. So if you look right here, we were in a continual climb, 2, 2.5, 3. That's based on the crimes per thousand. We were steadily going up. We started several years ago. We started our narcotics unit, started doing some unmarked patrols, more visibility, and a lot of other joint ventures, and it started coming down. And even though it fluctuates, if you look long term, which is important, you could see that statistics in 1 year may not matter, but over time, you could kind of see we were heading up and we're heading down. And this year, this is 2010 here, it's the lowest we've ever had, just a click under 1, which actually, now here's the county. The county's, Bergen County is a click over the 1, and here's the state average. So we're way under the state, and for the first time, which has been my goal for many years, is to actually be lower in violent crime than the rest of the county. I think that's a great accomplishment, considering that 75% of this county is small towns with very little crime. So we're actually under that. And like I said, in statewide, we're doing great. Once again, we talk about the summonses, and while this is an offshoot and it's not our major accomplishment, it is something that occurs due to the amount of money we bring in through the court due to the summonses. So I go back to 2004, and like I said, we were averaging 6,000 summonses. This is the amount of officers that we had on the department. So we brought in 345,000. And there's been a fluctuation steadily pretty much up. And this year, our goal was to pretty much break $1 million. We did it barely, but we actually brought in $1,008,000. And that figure there, that's the money that's actually turned over to the municipality and goes into the general fund. That is not what's brought in by the court. So it's much higher, probably about double that. But this is actually the net to the town. So I think that's interesting. And if you look at the figures, almost 20,000 summonses. And actually, in some aspects, that number should have been higher. If you look at it, we did 10,000, brought in 650. And I think that the economy is the reason why this isn't much higher. It should be about $1.2 million. And one of the things, according to the court, is a lot of people just aren't able to pay their fines. So there's a backlog in warrants. There's a backlog in people that owe. But we still actually broke the $1 million anyway. This is a synopsis once again of the fines. It just shows the trend has been upward, except for 2009. But it's basically been except for that one time. If you look at it, it's pretty much a straight line going up. And once again, this is the same figures, just presented in a different fashion. But you could also see it this way. If you look at it, as you would a stock, you could see if you were investing in the stock, it would be probably a pretty good stock to invest in. The other side of the coin is, versing our expenditures is what we brought in. As you know, we had an officer in ICE. This is the amount of money he seized with his group this year, $2.5 million. We get approximately 10% of that. This is what's actually pending at this point, $453,000 that we didn't receive. And this is what we actually received through ICE in 2010. We received, funds prior to this in 2009 and 2008. But this is what we actually received in the coffers this year for seizures. Like I said, the 453 is based on what we know is coming, but again, it takes time. These are also the other grants that we received from drunk driving enforcement funds, traffic safety, bulletproof vest fund, highway safety. This was a 200 club grant, which we just received. Small, but it still paid for equipment that we needed. So we've been pretty successful in applying for just every grant that's out there. Even if they're small, they all add up. As you can see, prosecutor has given us DUI enforcement, pays for overtime. This is our federal share, the 97 we just talked about. The Record Bureau, through their everyday workings, they brought in about $13,000, and this is the alarm fees also brought in through the Records Bureau. Safe and Secure Communities funds, so a total of about $343,000 that we brought in this year in grants. So if you add all that up between everything, this is what we actually, with the court fees, the grants, and everything else that we generated, it's about $1.3 million, which is about 25% of our total budget of $5 million. It's a little over 25%. So I think it's a significant money back to the town overall. So it just shows, we're trying to be austere, not just in not spending money, but trying to bring money back in every way we can. And that concludes it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Chief. We appreciate that summary, and we wish you continued good luck with you and your department and safety for everybody down there. And for the officers that we hear, thank you. Any comments by the council? Thank you. Mr. Casmar?
Mayor, this evening we have the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of February 3rd, 2011.
Motion, please. Mr. Boncino, Mr. Caramagna, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Chawinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under ordinances on first reading, we have Resolution 79-11, introduce ordinance 11-05 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend, supplement, and revise the code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, regarding adult entertainment uses be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, March 3rd, 2011 at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second. Second. Mr. Work, any discussion? I'll just indicate that this is the first reading of this ordinance, and the ordinance is specifically designated to appoint a particular area in Elmwood Park if anyone wishes to put an adult entertainment store in the store, not the entertainment, but they call it that. And we have a specific area where they could go, and that would help us in that aspect that they can't go into near a residential zone and so forth.
Mayor,
Yes.
you should just make a note that if we don't pass this type of ordinance, they can go anywhere practically.
Yeah, that's what I said. They can go anywhere that if we don't have this ordinance. So they can go near a residential zone or wherever. Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Chawinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution R64-11, payment of bills, R65-11, payment of checks, Resolution 66-11, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 67-11, transfer resolution, Resolution 68-11, redeem third-party tax lien for Amoco, Resolution 69-11, approve LOSOP list for the volunteer fire department and the volunteer ambulance corps, Resolution 70-11, approve annual coin toss fund drive dates for the fire company number 2, Resolution 71-11, refunds from the recreation account, Resolution 72-11, support construction of planned improvements at Midland Avenue Railroad Crossing, Resolution 73-11, authorize stipulation of settlement, Mandelbaum and Goldberg, and Resolution 74-11, authorize stipulation of settlement for 669 River Drive Association.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Vancino?
Second.
And Mr. Work, any discussion? I just want to discuss 72-11, and that is support the construction of a planned improvement on Midland Avenue Railroad crossing. This is Midland Avenue, Market Street, the intersection there, the traffic light. Well, if you make a left turn at that intersection and you go toward Fairlawn, you go over the railroad tracks. We've had some fatalities, we've had some cars being hit there, we've had near accidents, and we've been working with Fairlawn, Saddlebrook, for many years now to try to get that improved, and this is our support for another plan that they have. So, thank you. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Vancino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under resolutions, we have Resolution 75-11. Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey wish to issue 15 available parking spaces located on the former Sitco Pape property located at 144-50 Van Riper Avenue, Block 141, Lot 1. And whereas the mayor and council desire to charge Chrysler Industrial Corp., an adjacent property owner, for the use of the parking spaces at the same rate charged to individuals who lease spaces at the borough's park and ride facility of $125 per year. And whereas the borough clerk is hereby directed by way of this resolution to charge $125 per year for each parking space retroactive from January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2012, which equates to $1,875 for 2011 and $1,875 for 2012, totaling $3,750. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby lease said parking spaces to Chrysler Industrial Corp. for a 2-year period.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Chewinski, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Vancino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 76-11, be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following named be and is hereby appointed Fire Prevention Specialist, provisional status in the Fire Prevention Bureau. Be it further resolved that said salary shall be set at a rate of $15 per hour. Yuri Metlau of Fairlawn, New Jersey.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski?
Second.
Mr. Work, discussion?
Yes, Mayor, if I may. This doesn't come out of our funds. This comes right out of the Fire Prevention Bureau, through their inspections, like smoke detectors and things like that. They are shorthanded. That's why they're asking for this person.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Vancino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 77-11, be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following named be and is hereby appointed as a temporary data entry clerk in the borough clerk's office, and be it further resolved that said salary shall be set at a rate of $30 per hour, not to exceed $1,000. Mushok Pak of Lodi, New Jersey.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Work, second.
Second.
Mr. Vancino, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Vancino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 78-11, whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park have considered Molnar Drive to be an important connector road in the borough, providing direct access to Interstate 80, the Garden State Parkway, as well as to the borough of Saddlebrook. And whereas Molnar Drive provides direct access for truck and vehicle traffic to the industrial section of the borough off East 54th Street, which intersects Molnar Drive. And whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park have determined that the improvements to Molnar Drive from Saddlebrook border to the boulevard will qualify for a New Jersey Department of Transportation grant. And whereas said grant under the Department of Transportation has already been approved in 2010, and a local aid grant in the amount of $200,000 for a portion of Molnar Drive. And whereas, based on the review and recommendations from Boswell Engineering, a grant application has been prepared to complete the remainder of Molnar Drive that completes the requirements for the New Jersey Department of Transportation. And be it further resolved that the Mayor, Richard A. Mola, and the Municipal Clerk, Keith Kasmark, are hereby authorized to submit a grant application to the New Jersey Department of Transportation Local Aid Infrastructure Fund discretionary aid category for improvements to Molnar Drive Section 2 on behalf of the Borough of Elmwood Park. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park formally approves the grant application for the above stated project. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and the Municipal Clerk are hereby authorized to submit a grant application for improvements to Molnar Drive Section 2.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Chewinski, discussion? We were denied this, first time in many, many years that we were denied the Department of Transportation grant, and they have a whole checklist as to who qualifies and who doesn't qualify for this application, and they go back and say, well, you don't have a bus that travels through there, transportation bus and things of that nature. And I called the deputy commissioner and indicated that this is the entrance. Molnar Drive is the entrance east and west of Route 80. It's also the entrance east and west of the Parkway, and we have more cars traveling through there than one bus every hour going to New York City. So he indicated, and everybody else here agrees, that we're going to try to get that money from this particular proposal and see if we can get the $90,000 to $100,000 that would help us to finish Molnar Drive. Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy's absent. Chewinski.
Yes.
Work. Yes. Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carried. Mayor, we have no applications on the agenda this evening.
Well, that's good. Okay. Committee reports, Mr. Catamagna?
Yes, Mayor, it's very little. I understand last night the superintendent had a meeting in Gatineau School, and I wasn't able to attend because I had to go to Wake, and I want to offer the family of Mr. Gutierrez my condolences. His wife passed away at a pretty young age, and also his mother-in-law passed away a couple of days later. So the family is all devastated.
Today they bury him.
And again, sorry.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chewinski?
Yeah, real quick, Mayor. This month is Heart Awareness Month. That's why I'm wearing red
Okay.
for a couple of days anyway. At the fire department, they're in the second round of the DHS grants. They also applied this year for the new grants for the hydrant markers for the winter, which we were denied last time. And they also applied for a small 30 kVW generator for one of the other firehouses. They're all being updated in the new CPR. Every fireman will be trained with that. They also are in the process of their ladies auxiliary right now is amongst 4 companies. They're in the process of merging that under one company total, so all 4 will be together. Because some of the fire departments have 3 or 4 women, some have 10, so they figured we'd better just to make one big organization, which is a plus for us. Meanwhile, they put a fire out in Arena Court this past week, which they had a little bit of problem getting down the street. They had to wait for the police to move the cars before they can get to the dryer fire. Luckily, with the cooperation of the police, they were able to move the cars relatively quick and save the house. On another note, the Joint Insurance Fund met last night, and the lost time frequency rate is down from 2010 to now about 1 solid point, which is good. Although this month they had a heavy load of workman's comp claims from a lot of police and DPW workers getting hurt with the ice and everything else. One more thing, Mayor. On the county level, I was at the county meeting this past week. Just to give you an idea of what they're doing, the new administration there, they have the Bergen County chief came in, and they're due for 15 new cars. They have 15 old cars that have about approximately 120,000 road miles, which is equivalent, they say, to about 220 on our terms, because these engines are always running. Happens that 7 to 8 of them are winding up in their motor pool every week. So they convinced the chief, between cooperation with the two of them, they're going to get him 5 new Crown Victorians, this is the last year they're making them, by the way. So they had to get the order in quick. But he's going to give up the other 10, too. So there'll be 10 minus cars from the fleet of the chiefs this year, which is a plus. They're trying to work together that way. And on a last note, they appointed one of the county executive's own picks to the BCIA, which happens to be like a watchdog to help us out. Because I don't know if you've been reading about the BCIA and the mortgage problems that have been going on down there. And it happens to be that the appointment was my brother, which should be very good.
Good.
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing.
One more thing.
At the county, they brought up again the Route 17 expansion in Rochelle Park. The state was in showing the format and how they're going to move the highway, make it to 4 lanes in Rochelle Park. They're in the process of finishing that up. There will be more public comment, but Rochelle Park wasn't there. They weren't notified, but they will be. But they are planning to widen that intersection. Not that it's part of the highway. They claim there's 200,000 cars on each side of that highway go every day there.
They need it.
Yeah, it's coming.
When that project started at the freeholders, I was a freeholder at that time, and I said I would hold my breath until it happened, and it's been 18 years. Still hold. We're
Mayor,
getting close, but it takes time.
Right now, it's the worst in the state.
That's right. That's right.
It's the worst in the state.
It takes time to do these things, and we're moving there. So I'm appreciative of that. It has to be done. It's the biggest clog we have on Route 17 right
Yeah.
there. Mr. Castiglia?
Yes, Mayor, another short report here. There was no planning board public meeting this month, no applications. I guess in a community that's supposed to be 95% developed since the mid-'80s, I believe, that's pretty good to miss a planning board meeting once in a while. Bids were received on February 15th for the Kip Avenue project, Section 3. That's going to be done with a community development block grant. This is the third year in a row we've received a block grant for that job. It's a very long street, as a lot of people know. We're not only doing resurfacing on it, we're doing water main replacement, and hopefully when it is complete, there'll be better water pressure in that area and up the Cherry Hill section also. Like I said, every year we reapply for the grant, and then with the money that we do receive in the grant, we do that much work on the road as far as the money will take us. DPW workers were out this week filling potholes, so if they didn't get to your street yet, they should be there pretty soon. I was talking to Scott a couple of days ago. They're working on it diligently. Let's see. All right, we're in that changeover period now. You know, the snow is starting to recede a little bit, and we're starting to see some of the damage that the winter has done to the roads. So give them a little time. They'll get around and they'll reach everybody, I'm sure. The weather's been warm. It was beautiful out today. I hope that's a sign, but I got a funny feeling the winter's not over yet.
I think you're right.
Mayor, that's it.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Mr. Work,
What happened-
Councilman Work?
excuse me, Mayor,
Frank.
I have a question for Larry. What happened on Megan Ave and Spidell today? Anything happened this morning?
Megan Ave and Spidell?
One of my students mentioned something to me. I
water?
went to see it, but there was water there. It was like the asphalt is coming up.
Oh,
Are you aware of that?
That was the water main break, right?
Oh, I don't know.
But if
I didn't hear
Scott-
anything about it
I went to
today.
look at it this afternoon, to
I didn't
see.
hear anything about it today.
Did you call Scott at all from the?
No, I
DPW?
guess the sky was there this morning. I heard.
Oh, okay.
I think
That's another thing, a lot when the roads are
That's
snow
what's on the
covered.
image.
Yeah, when the roads are snow covered, sometimes you don't see
Yeah.
little signs that tell you that there's a water main break.
Yeah, I went to see there was
And then when it
water
really
over.
does go,
The asphalt was, the black.
ground is frozen, yeah.
All right, I thought it was.
There's going to be a lot of that, I'm sure.
Councilman Work?
Maybe a word.
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, the Elmwood Park Health Department will be continuing offering the free adult consultation and child health care clinics to the residents of Elmwood Park. Basically, for the adult consultation, there's no appointment required. Walk-in residents are welcome, and the next clinic will be held on March 15th, Tuesday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the clinic room in the municipal building. The free child health care clinics, which also includes free immunizations for infants up to 18 years old. These clinics are by appointment only. You would have to call the Board of Health to make an appointment. Number is 201-796-1457, extension 604, and their next dates for those clinics are March 3rd, Thursday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., and March 7th, Monday evening from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Once again, the Elmwood Park Department continues to offer the 4 free vaccinations from the American Recovery Investment Act. These are at no charge. Basically, tremendous savings to the residents if they require them. So these vaccines are also available at the adult free clinics, and those are once again being held on March 15th. The flu season, as everyone knows, is here. We still have the flu vaccine available. As everybody knows or read in the paper, the states outbreaks are occurring. Southeastern part of the United States, moving to the Mid-Atlantic, it looks like it's heading this way. So if you hadn't had the opportunity to get a shot, shoot down to the Elmwood Park Board of Health to get that. Next, the Elmwood Park homeowners meeting will be held on February 23rd in the all-purpose room in the municipal building at 7:30 p.m. And their special guest is going to be Mr. Tonko, the superintendent of the Elmwood Park school system. So if you have any questions regarding the school, the budget, or anything of any of his new programs, be a good night to shoot on down here to ask him some questions. And one other thing, I just want to, there's rumors going around town. I like to squash the rumors. Basically, there's rumors saying the mayor and council planning to let our health officer go. Basically, the mayor and council are only investigating sharing services. As a mayor and council, we have to do our due diligence to see if we can save the taxpayers money. So we are investigating, working with the local community, other local communities, and we're looking to share our health officer. She's very proficient, very well prepared. She's done a fantastic job the last year and a half. But we're not only looking at dollars and cents. There's also other variables involved in this, because you have to look at the services provided by the health department. You also got to look at the programs that our health department offers, along with the convenience of the taxpayers, because basically if you move it elsewhere, they would have to travel elsewhere. So all those are under consideration. And when we secure these numbers, they will have to go to the Board of Health for their recommendation. So there is no layoffs going on in that department. So I just wanted to snuff that rumor down. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Good report. Mr. Boncino?
Yes, Mayor. Earlier this evening, Chief Ingrassalino and our police leadership were here to present a summary of their annual operating report. Among the highlights that Chief Ingrassalino presented, robberies, which are an indicator of street crime, are down on average 50% from 2003. Motor vehicle summonses in that time period are up threefold. The police department logged over 250,000 miles of patrol in 2010. And most notably, violent crime statistic, which was taken over approximately a 10-year period, was down, cut in half. And that was less than half the state average and less than the county average, in fact. As police commissioner over the last year, I've had the opportunity to learn more about the operation of the department, and I gained a better appreciation of the issues that face the department on a daily basis. I'd just like to thank Chief Ingrassalino and the entire police department for their service to the residents of Elmwood Park. Last month I mentioned the New Jersey SEM was going to go out to bid for natural gas. The auction occurred on February 10th, and New Jersey SEM received 3 bids. They awarded a 12-month contract to Hudson Energy at a price of 71 cents per therm. This will provide Elmwood Park another year of supply budget certainty, and that 71 cents per therm is a 19% reduction over the contract that we had last year, so that's very good. The auction for electricity is anticipated to occur in mid-April. I'll have more information on that when we get closer. And the Elmwood Park Volunteer Ambulance Corps is having a blood drive on Sunday, May 1st at the Elmwood Park Ambulance Corps building. It will happen between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Again, on Sunday, May 1st. Please support that drive. And finally, with the Ambulance Corps, they're having their 5th annual beefsteak fundraiser, and it will be on March 12th at the American Legion Hall at 7:30. It'll feature hypnotist Gary Conrad. Tickets are $50 a person, and if you're interested in tickets, please call 201-796-8077. Come out and support the Corps. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. I see 3 gentlemen in the audience, and I think our borough attorney will anticipate some of your questions and answer them before you have to ask. Mr. Giblin.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, as you and the council are aware, there was a development application filed by North Jersey Trucking, which was completed over a year ago. And because of that development, it appears that the drainage in the area was impacted negatively and has resulted in increased flooding for some of the adjacent property owners. Based upon the direction of the mayor and council, the borough engineer has, although he's released the bond, he has gotten a cash bond in the amount of $30,000, which should be more than sufficient to cover any remedial work that has to be done. And he is currently obtaining bids to see how much it's going to cost to get the work done, and we will proceed from there now that the weather's improving and the work can be done. So that's the status of that case.
Thank you. This has been something we've been trying to work with them. It goes to court, you get their lawyer, we have our lawyer, we're just tired of it, and we're going to do it. So that'll be done as soon as the engineer comes back with the information. On my report, I'd just like to indicate that we've indicated the state has cut back on some of our road programs or infrastructure programs, and it's helping the state out. But it's not necessarily helping us out, because when the state lowers the amount of money we get for infrastructure repair, that means we have to bid it, and then we have to pay for it with interest. Please keep in mind that we have no problem staying with the governor and his 2% cap on our budget. However, outside the 2% cap, and I've mentioned this at a couple of the other meetings, outside the budget you have pensions, you have health insurance that goes up 15%, 20%, and that we have to. We're going to say keep it down to 2, and these things are going up 15 and 20%. And now if we have a situation where we don't get the money to fix our roads, we're going to have to pay for that. So he's lowering the state problem, and we're picking it up locally, but it's got to be done, so we'll do our best. And we've been mandated now by a new law indicating we have to pick up all TVs or computers. So if you have a TV you're throwing out, computer you're throwing out, garbage men won't take them anymore. What you'd have to do is call up our recycling officer. The number there, it's in my office, 201-796-1833, and she will give you a time to put it out and a day to put it out, and you can put out your TV or your computers, okay? Don't put them out. The garbage is not going to take them. So please be aware of that. All right? Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir.
I'm Eric Shaffer.
You have to speak at the microphone.
My name's Eric Shafrillo. I'm a homeowner at 289 Martha Avenue. I appreciate the work that you guys have done to alleviate our situation. Just one thing you should be aware of, the owner of North Jersey Trucking has been telling you that he has not been plowing his snow to add insult to injury to the problem against the fence. And myself and my neighbor have him on film personally, not even his workers, with his tractor pushing the snow up against the fence. And he even went as far as when my neighbor, Mr. Muchmore, saw him looking at him from the window, he gave him a smile and a wave, almost as a, take that. So I thought you should be aware. This gentleman doesn't live in town, and I don't think he's a registered voter in town. He could care less about any of us. He goes to sleep somewhere else. So I just thought that needed to be said.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll have this resolved for you shortly. Anyone else?
Walter Kaminsky, 285 Martha Avenue. I'd just like to echo what Eric said. I appreciate what you guys did. We worked pretty close with Councilman Cherwinski. He's been a big help. And thanks, guys.
Takes time.
It's melting. Last couple of days have been nice. I got about this much water in the yard now. That's why I'm here, but good news. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? If not, I'll call for a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Chewinski, second.
Second.
Mr. Work, any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, just one last item. Before I do close the meeting, let me repeat what I mentioned before. If you want to watch this telecast on TV, Tuesdays at 12 noon, Thursdays 4 p.m., Friday 11 a.m., channel 77, or you can watch it at www.elmwoodparknj.us. Thank you very much. We have a motion, Mr. Boncino, Mr. Work, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered.